So if we had received a communication from Tommy Robinson or others about the nature of his treatment, we would have considered it.
I'm Ezra Levant from Rebel News Network Limited in Canada, and my question is for Mr. Kaye. A few months ago, a parliamentary committee in the UK grilled Google about different political commentators and demanded that Google censor them. And they did. They shut down Tommy Robinson. He's been kicked off Twitter, Facebook, throttled on YouTube. And tomorrow he's being sentenced for contempt of court, surely sent back to prison. Have you looked at the treatment of Tommy Robinson in the UK, or is that a little bit uncomfortable to talk about, given that you're the guest of the UK government?
Okay, thank you. So let's take a few questions and then maybe...
I'd love an answer, though, instead of
yeah,
skipping the... Are you trying to skip the question?
I'm going to collect...
Can I have...
We're going to collect.
Okay, you're going to come back to that, Mr. Kaye?
Don't worry about it.
I won't.
Don't worry, I'm taking the notes.
So I want to answer that with two different points. One, which the second one will be a little more bureaucratic than anything else. But the first part is, so as a general matter, putting aside Tommy Robinson or Britain First or in the US, InfoWars, or any of those organizations that have kind of been under the same framework over the last several months or year or so, I think one of the general concerns that we've all expressed in different moments is when governments go to the companies and put pressure on the companies to restrict content based on their terms of service when they can't restrict that content as a matter of their own domestic law, right? So it may very well be, and so I do not know the details enough to answer, although we could talk afterwards about the Tommy Robinson case. And the bureaucratic response, sort of as a footnote, is we communicate with governments when we are sort of communicated to. So if we had received a communication from Tommy Robinson or others about the nature of his treatment, we would have considered it and possibly, depending on the facts, interacted with the government of the UK on the issue. But in the particular or more general context of what the companies are being pressured to do, this is a broad concern for us. It's a concern, certainly a concern for me, that the terms of service, which are much broader, if you look at terms of service or community guidelines for any of the companies, if you look at them and you imagine that they were drafted by governments, you'd probably be concerned about them. They're open-ended, they're broad, they leave a lot of room for discretion. There's not a lot of clarity, a lot of opacity around their enforcement. So we would be concerned about them as a matter of law. Now we could talk about whether we should think about those as law, but the problem, again, is government saying, we can't regulate this as a matter of public law, but we want you to as a matter of your terms of service. That's concerning. That's concerning for a number of the places that have been mentioned already here today, and not just a question of the UK. It's really an international problem.
I'm here in the United Kingdom for the Media Freedom Conference that appears to be anything but. It's an Orwellian gathering of the Canadian and British governments who are both engaging in massive censorship on social media, but they're going to swan about a bit with celebrities like Amal Clooney pretending they believe in civil liberties. We'll see over the course of the next 2 days if they will. If you want to see all our videos and chip in to cover our journalistic costs, we're independent unlike most media here, please go to mediafreedomconference.com.